15 News, the early edition, with Jan Pate and Al Klensch. Weather with Steve Capps. And sports with Rick Henry.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Randall King. Al Klensch has the night off.
And I'm Uze Brown, sitting in for Jan Pate, who is not feeling well this evening. A bank robbery in Florence with an unusual twist tops our news.
A Florence man is in serious condition at a local hospital tonight following his failed attempt to rob a city bank. As 15 News reporter Margot Schofield tells us, his plans were foiled when a passerby took matters into his own hands. And as we said, Miller is reported in serious condition at this time. Red Cross officials in Charleston told us late this afternoon that they have rushed all their stock of O-positive blood to McLeod Regional Medical Center for Miller's operation. A spokesman said the blood bank is in desperate need of blood to replace what was sent to Florence. The Red Cross asks that donors give blood tomorrow at Florence Darlington Tech and Wednesday at Florence General Hospital.
Is being investigated.
There's news from Columbia that the voice of Larry Gene Bell, charged with the kidnapping of Sherry Smith, sounds like that of a man who gave authorities directions to the body of 9-year-old Deborah May Helmick. That's according to sources quoted in today's Columbia Record. The sources also said there were similarities in words used by both callers and in the way the phone calls began and ended. The same sources told the Record that the taped phone conversations have been turned over to the FBI for further testing. Larry Bell is a suspect in the abduction of the Helmick child. At last week's unveiling of the plan to revitalize downtown Florence, Mayor Rocky Pierce expressed confidence that other city leaders would be behind that plan 100%. But at today's City Council meeting, there was some evidence of skepticism by Council members Herbert Ham and Ben Dozier. Before Council approves the $15 million plan, the city staff wants to apply for a federally insured loan, and Council would still have to conduct 2 public hearings before it could approve the 6-year plan. Councilman Ham reminded other members of past attempts to revitalize downtown. He noted the destruction of Harley Square as an example.
And I just want everybody to know the other side of it. See, there's 2 sides. We only give one side of it. You know, it's kind of like a newspaper, only one side. But I want people to see both sides. So we have wasted one heck of a lot of money. We built all this thing, now he's turning around and tear it down. That was the answer to our prayers, if we just open that street. Well, the street's open.
In other action, Council decided against reconsidering a motion that would allow a national religious organization to turn the old McLeod Infirmary into an apartment complex for the elderly.
South Carolina has a...
Just ahead on the early edition, an early morning car accident causes some damage to a Florence gas station.
Congressman Talon talked tobacco today with the growers affected by the program.
And in Horry County, the talk is on a possible tax cut. That story and more up next on 15 News.
Good evening. I'm Uze Brown, sitting in for Jan Pate.
And I'm Randall King. Well, for a change, one area county may have to consider a cut in property taxes.
Earlier this year, it was decided that property owners in Horry County would face a $14 million tax increase.
It will present before the County Board of Education on September 4th. Randall?
Thank you, Gary. In other news, a Florence service station that just recently reopened almost had to close down again this morning after a customer crashed into the building. Freddie Collins of Florence was pulling his car into the garage for an oil change, and the vehicle reportedly bolted forward, crashing into a wall. Witnesses say employee Weldon Graham was pinned in by the car, but he was not seriously injured. Owner Bobby Gandy said it's a miracle no one else was hurt because the office is usually packed at that time of the morning. There's a new development in a much more serious accident earlier this week that claimed the lives of 4 people in Anderson County. Authorities have discovered that an elderly Williamston man was drunk when he drove his car north on the southbound lanes and caused a head-on collision. Highway Patrol troopers said 69-year-old James McIntyre may have driven as far as 8 miles on the wrong side of the interstate before his car smashed into the station wagon of a Georgia family. McIntyre and his wife were both killed in the crash. Service Management Incorporated Director Richard Taylor was on hand to answer questions about the 20,000 square foot Raceway Outlet Village. Taylor noted that work on the 45-acre site just 3,000 feet from the Speedway has already begun.
Our purpose in
The developer says the site has room for 3 stories, a motel and restaurant, which he said should bring 150 jobs for the Hartsville-Darlington area. Meanwhile, some 40 jobs could be coming to the Florence area if a Myrtle Beach corporation goes through with its plans. Graco Steel Corporation has bought the Florence Iron and Steel plant as a potential facility to complement its operations. The 32,000 square foot building has been vacant since 1982. Graco is refurbishing the plant while final plans for its use are being made. The company estimates that such a facility would stimulate some $800,000 in retail sales and create $1 million in new personal income to the area.
Keeping progress out of the community is...
Well, it's not been the best of years for the tobacco growers. That's a statement we've heard a lot in recent weeks. The reasons for that are varied, and there are no easy solutions. One of the people who could have a role in improving the situation is trying to sort out the problems, and today he got an earful from area farmers. Congressman Robin Talon spent the day at the markets, tobacco warehouses that he says are just too quiet these days. The purpose of the visit was to find out why. Why is less tobacco being sold when the leaf quality is rated so high? At every stop, the growers had some answers.
It's downright disheartening when you see what's happening. I've talked to producers that have been growing tobacco for 50 years who tell me this might be the last crop they ever.
I've been growing tobacco all my life, and this is the worst.
Yeah.
We can live with a season, but not just $20 on assessment.
Their tax money is not going to fund this program. You producers, the assessment that you're paying, that's what's paying for this program. And now, by golly, we need some help.
That feeling was echoed by others. Some reasons given were the burden of the assessment price and the effect of increased imports.
Let's sell!
And at the auctions, quality tobacco is not receiving a quality price. Less than a third of the available crop has been sold so far, a fact Talon and others find hard to understand.
And if you give them that and every other incentive to buy it and they still aren't buying it, you really have to begin to question whether they're really interested in the tobacco program at all.
Sorting through the troubles of the tobacco program is no easy task, and the congressman only promised he'd do what he could in Washington.